My romance fizzled out last Friday evening, and she has no clue yet. Prior to leaving for a show with her pals, I caught my partner giggling and remarking, "I've groomed myself completely smooth, you never know." Her buddies erupted in giggles. I kept quiet. Come morning, as she lingered in a hangover haze from the previous evening, she spotted her possessions tidily bundled near the entrance. I never once elevated my tone. I held back any weeping. I skipped seeking explanations. That one phrase she'd let slip was sufficient for me. Her statement echoed in my head throughout the evening while she partied. You never know. It served as a casual admission that she remained receptive to grabbing any chance with another person should it present itself. For her and her crew, it was a fun jest. Yet for me, it exposed her blatant indifference toward me and our pair of years together. She's called Emily. We cohabited in my place. I refer to it as my place since solely my signature appears on the rental contract, a fact that would shortly gain importance. She prepped in the sleeping quarters alongside her companions, Sarah and Rachel, as I lounged in the lounge area, pretending to follow a program on screen. The entryway stood ajar, allowing their chatter to filter through. They hummed with anticipation, gossiping over the performers, their attire choices, and the volume of beverages they intended to consume. Out popped Emily's line, direct and without remorse. Rachel let out a whoop of amusement. Sarah's snicker struck me as somewhat subdued, though she joined in the mirth. My gut twisted. I remained rooted. I perched immobile on the sofa, gazing blankly at the silent screen, her phrase replaying endlessly in my thoughts. It went beyond the hint of unfaithfulness. It centered on the intentional, breezy manner in which she'd voiced it, the reality that she'd broadcast it to her group, transforming my prospective disloyalty into a breezy gag for their evening escapade. As they stepped out from the sleeping area, Emily glowed. She'd devoted ages refining her hairstyle and cosmetics. She sported a gown I'd never laid eyes on. She bent down for a swift, routine peck. Off we go, she announced, her pitch upbeat. No need to stay awake. It'll run till the wee hours, correct? I responded, my delivery even. Enjoy yourselves. Be cautious. She detected no irregularity. She missed the expression in my gaze. She viewed only the compliant partner she abandoned while preserving her alternatives. They departed, leaving the space hushed. For roughly a quarter hour, I merely lingered there. Fury didn't grip me. A sharp insight washed over me instead. It resembled a circuit being toggled. Every faint red flag across the prior duo of years abruptly aligned into an evident sequence. How she'd angle her device from my sight. The extended after-hours office gatherings lingering past midnight. How she'd converse a tad too fondly regarding her former flames. It all aligned, prompting me to commence. I began with the wardrobe in the sleeping quarters. I retrieved 3 carryalls and several vacant crates from the rack. I sifted her portion of the wardrobe, methodically extracting every garment, creasing it neatly and stowing it. Her footwear landed in a crate. In the washroom, I collected her beauty products, her myriad lotions and essences, into yet another container. I proceeded with precision, guaranteeing no harm came to items. This stemmed not from fury or sabotage. It constituted a composed, orderly extraction, a removal order. I bundled it all. Her books, her e-reader, the minor mementos atop her nightstand. At 3 in the morning, each of her effects within my space sat orderly bundled and arranged beside the entry. I set her keyring atop the primary container. I snapped a picture of the stack, dated 3:17 a.m. Afterward, I retired to the spare bedroom. I couldn't face resting in our shared sleeping spot. She staggered inside near 4 a.m., boisterous and tipsy. I caught her stumbling against a container and cursing, followed by a prolonged, weighty quiet. "James?" she uttered. Her inflection turned tiny, cleared of haze. I offered no reply. I tracked her navigation across the space. She inspected the sleeping quarters. She noted the barren wardrobe, the stripped surfaces on her section of the area. I registered her abrupt inhalation. "James, what's all this?" she bellowed, hammering the spare room entry. "Let me in. Explain yourself." I stayed mute. I inserted noise blockers. Following some 20 minutes of her hollering and weeping, she ceased. I overheard her hauling the carryalls and crates toward the exit, item by item. Consumed her close to 60 minutes. The bang of the main entry closing rang as the most soothing noise I'd encountered. She commenced flooding my device right away. Rings I dismissed. Messages evolving from bewilderment to rage to pleading. I permitted them to accumulate. I nodded off near sunrise. Upon rising, a tranquility I'd long missed enveloped me. I headed to the cooking area for a brew and noticed an enraged, mascara-smeared scrawl on the surface. I balled it unread and discarded it in the bin. My initial outreach skipped her, landing with my sibling, Lauren. Lauren practices law. She's astute, no-nonsense, and held little regard for Emily. It's over, I declared upon her pickup. I relayed the snippet I'd caught and my subsequent actions. Excellent, she affirmed at once. Then her attorney instincts engaged. Fine, will preempt complications. Does her signature appear on the contract? No, solely mine. Ideal. That positions her as a visitor, not a renter. You hold the right to bar her from your residence anytime, for whatever cause. You've restored all her items, barring theft claims. Initial action. Swap the entry mechanisms this morning. The lock expert arrives at 10, I noted. Wise choice, she acknowledged. Following that, the vehicle. The vehicle. Some 12 months back, Emily's outdated rust bucket failed. She craved a polished recent model, yet her financial score lagged. She begged me to endorse a pre-owned BMW from 2 years prior. I hesitated, yet yielded in time. My details joined hers on the financing, with my score pivotal to approval. She covered the installments, though the obligation bound me equally. Regarding the vehicle? Queried. As endorser, you possess entitlements, Lauren outlined. You're jointly accountable for the obligation, granting you stake in the property should the lead debtor falter or violate terms. Locate the financing pact. Recite the portion on overdue status and seizure. I unearthed the financing papers from my records. I pinpointed the provision. It specified that beyond 30 days overdue, the financier could seize the AutoSans alert. It further noted the endorser's role in alerting the financier to shifts in the debtor's situation affecting repayment capacity, such as residence or employment alterations. She'll weaponize the vehicle to sway you, Lauren warned. Perhaps halting installments to burden you with debt, or leveraging it for dialogue. We must disarm that. Retain that paper handy. The lock specialist arrived and departed. The fresh keys offered solace in my grasp. Next, I addressed a prior omission. I examined our joint monetary streams. She'd transfer her portion of housing costs and services through digital wallet monthly. I reviewed the prior year's exchanges. Indeed, she'd lagged for instances. One transfer trailed by more than a fortnight. I captured images of each delay, dates preserved. This formed evidence. It transcended funds. It documented her flakiness. The ensuing clash, as anticipated, involved our shared circle. By Saturday midday, the defamation push ignited. My acquaintance Tom messaged. Listen, Emily's ranting wildly in the communal thread. She's claiming you snapped and ejected her without cause as she slept. Folks are panicking. Emily's tale cast me as a possessive, domineering madman poised for any pretext to discard her. She artfully omitted her grooming quip. She depicted it as my abrupt collapse. I rang Tom. She's fabricating. You likely sense layers beneath. Suspected as much, he admitted. Yet she's persuasive, tearful, voicing fear of you. I navigated with caution. Open spat would tangle further. I required solid ground. I recalled Sarah, the companion present for Emily's remark. Her amusement had felt reluctant. I located her contact and messaged. Hi, Sarah. I realize this feels uneasy, but a query. Did I err in taking offense at Emily's words last evening prior to your departure? Her comeback arrived swiftly. Absolutely not. It was a rotten utterance. I voiced that en route. This opened opportunity. She's broadcasting I ousted her baselessly. Care to relay what transpired later in the communal thread or beyond? No intent to stir trouble. Merely aiming to surface facts. 10 minutes elapsed sans reply. I assumed neutrality. Then my device chimed. Sarah's image capture. From their female cohort thread. Dated Friday 9:15 p.m. Roughly 20 minutes post-departure from mine. Rachel typed, that charming percussionist is clearly checking you out. Emily countered, totally, yeah? Fingers crossed. Smiley with protruding tongue bonus, I'm prepped. Sarah offered merely a rolling eyes icon. Irrefutable validation. Beyond a careless slip. Purposeful design. The banter persisted post-abandoning me. I forwarded the image to Tom. Here's her statement. I added, distribute freely in the thread. No battle from me, but transparency serves all. Tom's retort sped back. Damn. Understood. Posting presently. I envisioned the uproar that capture unleashed. Inside an hour, messages from 3 additional pals arrived. Dude, deepest regrets. We ought to have discerned. Emily's crossed bounds. Her backing eroded. The yarn she'd woven splintered via singular proof from a principled ally. Emily flew into a frenzy. She branded Sarah a turncoat. Per Tom's subsequent message, Sarah retorted, "Won't cover for you, Emily. Your actions were foul." Sarah exited the thread. Social tempest quelled. I turned to the vehicle. I anticipated her retaliation via it. Monday dawn brought her seething dispatch. I'd sealed her line. Thus, mail served as sole channel. Header? The auto. Figure you can wreck my existence and saunter free? You endorsed my ride. Skip meeting to hash this, and I'll cease installments. Watch your pristine score crumble. Balls in your court. Precisely Lauren's forecast. Yet serenity held me. Her documented menace supplied exactly the leverage required. Overt design to breach financing. I bypassed reply. I contacted the vehicle lender. I conferred with a financing rep, outlining crisply and verifiably. Greetings. James Carter here, endorser on account 456C2. Lead debtor Emily Watson. Reaching out as I suspect peril to the collateral. Ms. Watson no longer resides at listed site, and her present fixed locale eludes me. She dispatched this at 8:42 a.m. today, declaring cessation of payments, defying pact terms. The rep maintained decorum. Possess that dispatch, sir? Affirmative, I confirmed. Forwardable. Transmit to our recovery unit. Here's the address. Upon receipt, case initiates. With her avowed breach intent and fluid residence, securing collateral may ensue. Vehicle's present spot known? It was. Tom noted Emily bunked at Rachel's. Rachel's locale I held. Auto probable nearby the site, I informed the rep. Appreciated, Mr. Carter. Proceedings ours henceforth. Updates on steps forthcoming. I relayed Emily's dispatch to the institution. Then awaited. I'd merely flagged collateral hazard, per endorser obligation. Their handling rested with them. 48 hours on Wednesday dusk, I motored back from workout, veering by Rachel's structure. Spot on. A recovery rig affixed to Emily's BMW. Emily and Rachel curbside, berating the hauler, dismissed with the stoic poise of a veteran in turmoil. Emily wailed. Total unraveling. I passed without pause. Just routine transit. No triumph or arrogance stirred. A subtle equilibrium reemerged softly. Her decisions dictated. Consequences followed. Seizure ignited instant repercussion. She unleashed a barrage of incensed recordings on my temporarily reopened line. I'd reopened to gauge response. She vowed litigation for pilfering her ride, demolishing her world. All manner. Vacant barbs from one stripped of sway. I absorbed archive to digital file, resealed her line. The concluding segment wrapped some 30 days hence. Dust settled. I convened Sarah over brew to express gratitude. She noted Emily torched every tie, repelling all via deceit and theatrics. Still crashing at Rachel's, strains mounting. Penniless, wheel-less, wretched. One midday an unfamiliar line rang. I rarely lift, yet awaited supplier outreach. Thus answered. James Carter? Inquired a crisp female tone. Linda here, overseer at Oakwood Homes. Contacting for proprietor endorsement on candidate Emily Watson. She named you latest proprietor. I almost chuckled. Gall unmatched. Seeking my aid to reconstruct post-mayhem. Happy to aid, I stated, voice neutral. Splendid, Linda replied. Verify Ms. Watson tenancy past duo years? Confirmed her occupancy in my unit circa 22 months. I phrased precisely. Lease absent her. Extended visitor status. Silence lingered. Understood. Rent contributions? Indeed, monthly transfers of her housing and service shares. Timely? I consulted preserved captures. Logs indicate 4 delays last dozen months. February, May, August, October prior. August lagged 16 days. Noted, Linda voiced. Chillier. Final query. Release to Ms. Watson. Brief halt. No statement I offered. Very well, she concluded. Thanks, Mr. Carter. Line dropped. Emily's bid surely tanked.